Hello, you're very welcome to join me on this walking meditation through the woods. Taking a breath, letting ourselves settle. No need to pretend we're enlightened or in any way spiritually aerodynamic. Just relaxing. We've got nothing to achieve here. No spiritual high score to beat. No gold stars for perfect posture. Today I want to share a simple introduction to the Four Noble Truths, one of Buddhism's most important teachings. In fact, this was Buddha's first ever teaching, the moment he essentially said, "Right, here's what's actually going on." Think of it as a user manual for the human mind, written long before anyone had to deal with train delays, or passive-aggressive email, or car mechanics. The first noble truth, the truth of suffering. Life is full of moments that don't quite go to plan. From the tiny to the monumental. You know the type. You make a cup of tea, forget about it, and discover it 3 hours later, stone cold. Or those cringe-worthy moments where we wave back at someone who wasn't actually waving at us. Or we try to sleep, only for our brain to remind us of that one time back in school where we called the teacher Mum. This is suffering. Not just the dramatic stuff, but the everyday awkwardness of being human. It's the gap between how things are and how we secretly wish they would be. It's the irritation, the disappointment, the longing, the confusion. It's life refusing to follow the script, despite our very polite requests. And the list goes on. Human suffering is seemingly endless. Unrequited love, financial problems, illness, heartbreak, the whole Argos catalogue of difficulty. And recognizing this fact is refreshingly honest. It's a relief to admit that being human is a bit of a shambles sometimes. That life is by nature difficult. So why do we suffer? The second noble truth, the cause of suffering, is ignorance. According to Buddhism, it's because we misunderstand reality. Misunderstand in that everyday, delusional way we all do. It's called the ignorance of attachment and the ignorance of aversion. With attachment, we cling to things as if they're permanent. Our jobs, relationships, identities, our own opinions, the belief that our mug will never break. We expect things to stay exactly how we like them. And when they don't, we act shocked, as if change is some kind of administrative error and we are being denied access to the manager. With aversion, we push away anything uncomfortable, awkward emotions, difficult conversations. We try to curate a life like a playlist, forgetting that reality is a DJ who does not take requests. Ignorance isn't stupidity, it's simply not seeing clearly. Ignorance is the mind running on outdated software, convinced it knows what's going on, even when the evidence strongly suggests otherwise. The third noble truth, the end of suffering. The third truth is revolutionary. If suffering comes from misunderstanding, then understanding brings our freedom. When we see clearly, even for a moment, something softens within us. We stop gripping so tightly. We stop assuming that every inconvenience is a personal attack. We stop shouting at the sky when it starts raining the moment we leave the house. We stop thinking of the world as a battlefield in which we have to fight for number one. This is about dropping that extra layer of struggle we add on top of life. The layer that insists reality should behave itself, even though it never has. Freedom begins in those small moments when we stop fighting and start meeting life with openness, or at least with mild curiosity. The fourth noble truth, the path. The final truth says there is a path that leads to freedom. A way of living that gradually dissolves ignorance and reveals clarity. Traditionally, this is the noble eightfold path. A training in wisdom, ethics, and mental discipline. But in everyday terms, the path looks like this. Noticing our thoughts without immediately believing them, especially the dramatic ones. Speaking in ways that don't make life harder for us or those around us. Making choices that reduce harm, even in small ways. Paying attention to what's happening right now, not the imaginary version of it. And when we catch ourselves clinging or resisting, which we absolutely will. Smiling, shrugging, and gently letting go. A bit like releasing a pigeon that's wandered into the kitchen. The path isn't about perfection. If perfection were required, the British public would have abandoned Buddhism the moment they realised meditation does not come with a biscuit. In fact, if Buddhism required perfection, then there would only be about 3 Buddhists worldwide. It is about practice, about trying, steady, honest, compassionate practice, and that takes time. People often come to spirituality expecting instant calm, inner peace, and yes, maybe a biscuit. But when they discover it mostly involves sitting with their own thoughts, well, that's usually the moment they ask if there's a refund policy. But step by step, the noble path is walkable. The 4 Noble Truths are a map with no shortcuts. Or it's like a compass that gently points the way. And as we follow it with patience and honesty, the path unfolds beneath our feet. So as we come to the end of this reflection, noticing whatever is present right now, a thought, a feeling, a sensation, anything at all. The 4 Noble Truths are a mirror held up to our own experience. A reminder that suffering is universal. Its causes are understandable. Its end is possible, and the path is walkable. May we all meet life with wisdom and humour. May we find freedom in the very heart of experience. Thank you for listening.